VannKraken here, World of Warships Legends Alpha Tester. In this video, we put the spotlight on Scharnhorst, disregarded by some as weak for a battleship, to see if she is capable of swinging the outcome of a game by not just being in the right place at the right time, but by having the power to seize both territory and opportunity. Map control, or consciously using your ship to either gain possession of tactically important parts of a map or deny them to the enemy team, can be illustrated in three simple ways. First, we can exert map control by preventing our enemies from advancing into a key map section or channel of travel that would give them a tactical vision or firepower advantage. Second, we can utilize map control by going on the offensive ourselves, by physically taking in or occupying a strategically important section of the map for our own team, such as the center of New Dawn with its advantageous and protected fire lanes. Or third, we can use map features such as islands and terrain to execute tactically valuable moves such as flanking or crossfires, or using cover to protect ourselves while we fire torpedoes or lob HE rounds to deny an enemy an easy entry into a cap circle. Since showing is better than just telling, let's man our battle stations on New Dawn in our Tier 6 premium battleship Scharnhorst under the unconventional command of Reinhard Scheer and see some of these map control principles at work with the outcome of a match on the line. I'm not gonna lie when I say that Scharnhorst holds a special place in my heart as the first premium ship I ever purchased with real money on World of Warships PC almost 6 years ago. I probably bought her because of her amazingly good looks, but learned soon thereafter about her unique playstyle that we get to showcase in this match. We load in on the east edge of our spawn in defend the base mode, and we initially stick to the deployment rule of defend your own side, as the battle is joined with a group of enemy battleships that make first contact, including a KGV, North Carolina, and a Nagato. Scharnhorst draws fire from critics because she has 9 smaller caliber 11-inch main battery guns, which I mainly use to fire AP rounds at cruisers and the thinner upper belt and superstructure armor of battleships at a range of 15 kilometers or closer in. But what these guns lack in raw alpha damage punch, they make up for in rate of fire. Just 20 seconds to reload with my build. Plus they have high muzzle velocity, fast turret rotation, and the ability to accumulate good chunk damage with each volley. Scharn's quick reload allows me to spread my fire around to both the KGV and Nagato initially, and a bit later to a Shores that gets the idea that it might try to sneak behind cover in the center of the map. Taking up this initial position to support the eastern flank and the middle of the map helps us illustrate our first map control principle, which is to prevent a rapid and early enemy push into our southern territory. I am close enough to be able to get warning shots off onto multiple ships using Scharn's higher rate of fire than a typical battleship, but I purposely don't sail too far north as to get myself focused down by multiple foes at once and suffer an early death, as our active presence is helping to hold the side. This action effectively puts 3 of the 4 enemies on our flank on notice and has the effect of preventing them from making a fast and easy push into the southeast channels of the map, which would give them a crossfire opportunity and a low resistance path to our base. As the opening engagement draws to a close, we loop back around toward the map's center so that we don't get buried too far back or behind the cap to maintain contact and be a persistent threat to the enemies on the eastern flank. At the same time, a glance at the minimap reveals that the center of the map has a new visitor in the form of the Benson, the enemy team's only destroyer. We seize this early opportunity to nose in and try to root him out. It's a true 1v1 that I'm sure the DD thinks is his to own against a battleship. It's vital that we try to point our nose straight in the direction that he is launching his fish from so we can try to steer through the spread. As we get close, our secondaries start to go to work and we smack 4 modules with our first salvo of high explosive. We managed to nearly split his first salvo of torpedoes and only take 1 hit, but we have a fire and a flood to deal with. We save our damage control party momentarily in case we take another torp or fire. With a second rack of incoming torpedoes seemingly spent or unavailable due to his module damage, We tee off again with HE as he gets stuck on an island and pops smoke. Besides beaching, the Benson's new problem is that they've caught fire and we are too close to them for their cover to take effect. We finish them off before repairing our own fire and flood. And ironically, we get to use his own smoke to break contact with his teammates. So far, we've paid a very significant cost in health in this duel, but we've successfully flipped control of the middle of New Dawn, which is kind of like grabbing both Boardwalk and Park Place on the Monopoly board. And we acquired the center by straight up bullying the enemy team's only destroyer when we knew we had a 1v1 opportunity, using Scharnhorst secondaries, solid maneuverability for a battleship, and the aforementioned rate of fire to execute a high-stakes life or death play that most battleships could not pull off. This important action takes a major vision and torpedo threat out of the game. As we come back around to take possession of our center map prize, we are in a really good position to have an even more impactful influence on the remainder of a nearly tied match. With most of our team holed up behind cover and facing 4 enemy ships across the islands in front of us, we know we still have a pretty steep hill to climb to a victory. As we steam forward to take cover behind the northernmost islands in the center ring of the map, our teammates help remove a huge threat from our flank from a closing synop. And now we have the luxury of fighting ships that are mostly straight in front of us. We use our torpedo lead indicator from behind cover to keep tabs on our enemies' intentions, both their speeds and headings. And our torpedo threat keeps the KGV and then both the Florida and the North Carolina from coming straight at us to contest the middle. As we probe the edges of our island position, our destroyer teammate draws some attention as we multitask, setting a double fire on the KGV while we shoot AP rounds at and Citadel the Miyoko lurking in the background. The KGV goes down to our fires and the Florida holds off from charging yet again. We are able to keep the enemy team off balance without overcommitting to a premature push. This phase of the engagement typifies how occupying the middle keeps the enemy team bottled up in the area of their spawn, where we can poke and harass them and our teammates can start to build an effective crossfire from the flanks. Initially, it is pretty dang close to a 1 versus 5 situation, but Scharn's mobility and persistent torpedo threat commands respect that allows us to patiently hold our position and seal off the center along with our allied destroyer, and no concerted push from the 3 opposing BBs with much bigger guns than ours ever comes. With just over 2 minutes left on the match timer, things start to get a bit nutty. It's time to get a move on and use the benefit of our location to flank the enemy, with our trusty island providing cover until we can round the corner and open fire. It's truly now or never for our final flanking push, as we need to get into position to pincher the enemy to score some hits and try to beat the clock. We lose an allied battleship on the western flank, which evens the score to a tie. And at about the same time, RNG trolls us just a bit and we fall short of finishing off the enemy shores. One more of our allied West Edge battleships dies and we lose the points lead with 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining. But our own shores equalizes again by taking down the Florida as we are pushing to Scharn's top speed of 30 knots to allow us to get into firing position. Shores on shores violence gives us back the lead and we set our own sights on the thin-skinned Miyoko, falling a tiny bit short of killing it, but handing down a Citadel-driven 12,000 damage salvo right before the timer runs out. We check the score, it's a crazy finish, and we pull off the last-second win. This is why we play the game, right? Scharn fluidly adapts to different roles and situations, which allowed us to influence the map in this match in the 3 distinct ways we have described: preventing an early enemy advance, flipping and then holding the center of the map, and executing a final flank push around terrain to help seal the victory. It goes to show that if you know the unique qualities of each of your ships and are prepared to use their strengths to influence the map in a positive way, you can help your team win more games. Scharnhorst guns are not the knockout high-caliber hitters that many battleships possess, so learning to aim them well and strike targets with consistency is key to playing her at the top of her game. Check out the first video in our Easy Aiming series in the corner above to help improve your main battery hit rate and overall effectiveness in your matches. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, or to join us for a live stream here on YouTube or on Twitch. As always, I thank you very much for watching. This is VannKraken, and I am out.